Hey guys, so today I'm going to show you how to make some yummy, delicious, just as good or even better than Popeyes, red beans and rice. This recipe is super easy, so if you'd like to see how it's made, sit tight and enjoy the video. Welcome y'all, this is Catrell. Today I'm going to be making some red beans and rice, and now I'm going to show you the ingredients that I typically use. I'm going to start with the Zatarain's box of red beans and rice. I usually use this for the rice purposes because I do not add rice into this dish. It usually turns out perfect just by using this box. I use a can of red beans. I also use a can of Glory Foods seasoned red beans and rice. This also is for rice purposes so that I don't have to cook my own rice for this dish. So that works out pretty good. I'm going to use a half a stick of butter, some Creole seasoning, a little minced onion powder, and garlic powder. So I'm going to start with my Crockpot on high. I usually spray my Crockpot with the non-stick spray. I usually use the butter flavor. It's pretty good. So yeah, that's what I do to prevent any sticking. And I haven't did that yet. So I'm going to go ahead and spray some around the butter. I mean, it really don't matter, but okay, so the butter is nice and melted. So now it's time to add the can of red beans. And I did drain these before dumping them into the crock pot. I'm going to let those cook up some, and then I'm going to slowly start adding some more ingredients. I season this to my liking, and that's what you can do as well. But I will mix my seasonings into this little Pyrex container. I'm just going to shake the bowl up a little bit to get everything mixed around. Now I'm going to add my seasoning to my beans. And don't be afraid to add as much seasoning as I did, because I probably will not season these anymore, or maybe just a tad bit after the rest of the ingredients is added. But now I'm gonna mix that up. Sizzling. At this point, I'm gonna add my can of red beans and rice from Glory Foods. Okay, so this is what I'm working with for the can of red beans and rice. I did not drain these. It came out just the shape of a can. Kind of funny, but I'm gonna just mash the rice and beans up and mix it around. I love the smell of onion powder and garlic powder mixed together. I'm gonna let this cook for a few minutes before I add my box of Zatarain's. So everything is coming together, smelling and looking so delicious. I'm going to use my masher. This is what I would use to mash my potatoes, or, you know, mostly I use this for mashed potatoes, but I like my red beans and rice to be, I like my red beans and rice to be a creamy consistency. So now I'm just going to try to mash up as many beans, I guess as many beans as I want. This is going to be to my liking. So I'm going to show you guys what the consistency looks like after I get done mashing, because I can't hold the camera and mash at the same time. So look at those beautiful red beans and rice. It almost reminds me of Popeyes. And trust me, they're like probably even just as good or better than Popeyes. So now I'm going to go ahead and add my package of Zatarain's, red beans, and rice. See, now this package of Zatarain's already has plenty of seasoning in it. I'm just going to go ahead and stir the package of Zatarain's all around. I am going to go ahead and add about 2 cups of water to my mixture because the package of Zatarain's actually calls for about 4.5 cups of water. And I want to make sure that my red beans and rice comes out to be the creamy consistency that I want it to be. This is the part that's going to take maybe the longest amount of time for the Zatarain's mix to cook in and blend in with everything, but time is definitely on our side because I'm going to be making some chicken to go along with this dish, so stay tuned. So this is what everything looks like after about 35 minutes roughly. The rice is nice and tender, still a creamy consistency. If you want most of your beans like mashed, you can also go ahead and use the masher again, but I'm gonna leave mine like this. I will turn my crock pot off and let this cool for about maybe, I'm still cooking my chicken, so maybe about 20 more minutes or so, maybe 25, and I'll come back to let you guys see how everything turned out. Good. So needless to say, that's what my daughter felt about the red beans and rice and the fried chicken, because this dinner was bomb. So if you like this recipe, try it out. Thank you for watching.